Most believers talk about this spiritual war that we're in, but most believers have absolutely no idea about the spiritual warfare that we're in. And they're constantly feeling or constantly fighting a battle that they haven't learned to identify. And I'm not talking about mindsets and your normal thing. I'm talking about real demons and real altars. I'm talking about real unseen resistances that your normal strategies aren't going to fix. And, well, I want to talk about it in this video, so don't go anywhere. I want to expose what's really happening behind the scenes in many people's lives. If you're a born-again, spirit-filled believer and you've been called to build something that is impacting others, then you've not only been marked by heaven, but you've also been targeted by the enemy. A lot of people quote Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but the truth is, we overlook oftentimes how much this really just plays into us building what God has called us to build. The confusions that come, the way that people ghost us and switch up on us, even when there has been agreements or right before breakthrough, right? The sudden fatigues and the fogs and the fears and the ideas that just get scattered, and the list goes on, right? And the truth is, it's not just bad business patterns or mindsets or stronghold. It could be, but truth is, those are more signs that we're in spiritual war and there's a spiritual opposition. And if we don't learn to recognize it and properly deal with it, then the truth is we'll keep building in circles. I've talked to so many people who have paid for the coaches and they've sat through the webinars and they've followed the scripts and the templates and the fill in the blanks. And the truth is, something's still missing and they still feel dry. And the truth is, it's not because they're missing strategy, but it's because they're missing real, tangible, spiritual breakthrough. This is the hard, real truth, y'all, is we can't brand our way out of demonic delay, and you can't market your way out of a soul wound or spiritual legal grounds, and you can't close clients while you're carrying spiritual contamination and internal confusions. Look, I'm not bringing this up to shame you. It's so that we can finally be set free. The marketplace is not neutral. It is very active, especially spiritually. It's filled with altars and priests and offerings, and there's altars of greeds and self-glory and altars of manipulation. And, let me ask you this. Have you ever saw an ad or saw a big name coach or something, and there was this ad that happened and you just felt, I can't put my finger on it, but something's off? That's spiritual discernment playing off even in business, that there are altars behind influence, and many people who are building in that space, well, they offer their businesses on these altars. Exodus 34:13 tells us to tear down the altars, and in business and ministry is no different. We're not here to just participate in the marketplace. We're here to govern, and we're here to occupy, and we're here to advance the kingdom of heaven. And it's not by mimicking the world or by seeking counsel by the next TED Talk specialist, but it's by bringing in a kingdom model that comes from the throne room and is specific for us and our calling and assignment. And this is the truth that not many are talking about, is that we're not just called to build something, but we're called to govern. We're called to stand in our assignments as priests and kings at the gate. And, well, be under Christ, who is the ultimate priest and king, who governed spiritually and economically. That's your assignment. It's not to just sell, but to be sanctified, and not to just create, but to be consecrated. And when you are trying to build without understanding how priesthood and how spiritual warfare in the marketplace actually places, then, man, you're gonna be mistaken to be battling as confusion in your business, when in reality it's really a war on spiritual jurisdiction. You've been assigned to build, but if your altar in the spirit is not tended properly, then the resistance against your assignment is just going to intensify. But here's the good news, is that you're not going crazy. You are called, and this warfare is actually just confirmation. But you and many others, we don't just need more motivation. We need discipleship. We need deliverance. We need a kingdom framework that's going to blend and align our identity with heaven's strategies as well as the spirit. And that's exactly why I created the Path to Purpose, because it's not just a business course. It's a spiritual equipping ecosystem for marketplace priests who are tired of just second guessing and just ready to govern. Inside you find those deliverance frameworks. You find resources and things to help you with your offer clarity, messaging and sales strategies that don't compromise. And not just that, but when you join the Path to Purpose, you also get a private kingdom community where you can sharpen and grow with other people in the same boat, and we can advance the kingdom and glorify the Lord together, make disciples. So if you've ever felt stuck, and if your assignment feels foggy, and if you know you've been called but you feel like, man, you're under a spiritual fire, then this is your moment. I invite you to click that link below in the description and join the mentorship today. It's holy ground, and, well, your breakthrough's not going to come from more hustle. It's going to come through proper alignment. If this is your first time here, my name is Brother Joseph Pedroza. You can call me Brother Joseph P, or some other equivalent, something close to that. But I help kingdom entrepreneurs walk in deliverance and learn to be a priest in the marketplace, to build a business that advances the gospel with not just power, but purity. And so if you or you know somebody who's ready to break cycles and gain clarity in their assignment, build what God has called them to be sure to hit that subscribe button, follow, and share it with somebody else who might be feeling kind of stuck. There's more truth, more strategy, and more spiritual fire coming your way. And we'll see you in the next video. You guys stay encouraged, stay armored up, and we'll talk to you soon. Remember, if you're called to build, it's something that God has entrusted you with. So let's learn, let's grow, let's make disciples. We'll see you in the next video.